Welcome back to Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy, Tormented by Gnomes, your game master, joined in today's episode by Lemon Kiwi. When last we left our hero, she just finished a mostly successful date, and night is closing down. You know, it's a school show. It can't always be deicide and war crimes. All right. Cyrus has departed, mostly with a spring in his step and that post good date elation, but also a lot of like heavy material that he's now picked up. Garnet is left alone in her room across from Ariana's still empty bed.
And I think as she sits down on her bed, from going, she kind of expressed it to Cyrus already of being with him is living outside of the reality that is currently very shitty. And every time he tries to ask about things, it's just she can't even begin to explain how she's feeling because she doesn't really understand it herself due to a lot of the void corruption, which I've kind of said this as a more confusion on feelings and not feeling connected to people because they feel so distant. And also maybe just thinking about their actions, like why did Mantra and Athalor not come with her? Or what did Sven really think about when she chose to come with her? Like, was there other intentions? So she's kind of left with these thoughts and looking across at Ariana's bed, she thinks back at when she was scrying the orb and found, Ariana's flowers. And now that she thinks back at Cyrus's flowers, she thinks about flowers in general, which make her think about Ariana. And then the grove, which was where she spent a lot of time with Ariana. So she goes into the sadness so soon after such an amazing day. So she wants to get out of the room, so she just heads early to the study chamber to meet with Elnao whenever she comes.
Okay. You are significantly early. It is not midnight yet. There are several hours until then. And as you make your way down through everything, you hear the footsteps of another student. Light, but purposeful. I won't say oblivious, but I will say heedless, walking down the hall. Around the corner, unless you turn invisible or anything, a Lozarin has a heaping pile of books and is moving with purpose.
She kind of waves at him.
He didn't notice you until you did. And then he just stops and says, "Oh, Garnet, did you have a chance to do any of that reading?"
A little bit. Been preoccupied with all the stuff happening. And she kind of peers at the titles of his books. What you got today?
Collective Magic, Geoscaped Matrices. It's about, obviously, you're aware that the magnitude of a spell matrix affects the total amount of arcane energy available to it. Then, obviously, using the elemental currents in the earth as anchor points, a matrix that spans the course of multiple miles would be capable of far greater effect. I was under the impression that we were going to employ these sorts of techniques against Diffraxis' armies. Is Diffraxis still attacking us?
Well, they haven't, and they won't, because we mostly blew them up without the need of all that.
How blown up?
Well, there's a big hole in their city now.
How big?
They are missing. Goes about describing the exact meterage and just almost makes up a number with decimals and even and talks about the circumference and how many units were involved and the depth of the hole and all this stuff. And
interesting. Diffraxis' total socioeconomic industrial output is an unknown, but I suspect that is going to be a major delay for them. Well, that's good. That would give us more time to concoct some large-scale collaborative magic, and that'll give you more time to get caught up on that reading so that you can participate.
Kind of taps on his books. Well, maybe you could read a bit faster because, well, we would have been attacked already if you had to finish all these books before, helping.
Well, waiting to help until I had finished all these books would obviously be a bad choice, but I'm maximizing my available time. Furthermore, if you aren't up to speed on collective magic, then you won't be able to participate. And you obviously have a lot of magical power. You won the Clash of the Codex and have done a number of other impressive things. So if it would be possible at all to tap your abilities into this, then that would be a major asset for the entire school. But it sounds like because of the successful mission that you executed, that's bought us some more time. So that's good.
Alozern, I blew a hole in that city. I did more than buy us time.
Yes.
And instead of making me read all these books, why don't you prepare some notes that summarize all of these and slide them under my door when you're done?
A summary is obviously not going to be anywhere near an actual perusal, but there might be some pointers we can use to accelerate the entire process. I will boil this down, but I don't have a thorough understanding of where you stand in all of your studies, so I will try to be as universal as possible with this, and then depending on your response to those, I'll know how to cultivate future analysis. But there is no substitute for actually doing all of the reading.
I'm far enough where I could blow a hole in the city, but at least be smart enough to not also do it inside of your chest, because you're annoying me right now.
Well, that wouldn't be helpful for protecting us against Aphraxis at all.
It wouldn't be helpful because you owe me some summary notes.
I don't know if "O" is the right word, but if you can blow up a city without needing an entire group array, then a group array plus that would just be far more efficient. It would magnify the capabilities, unless there's an inherently unstable implement. I'll have to do some analyses of your spell matrices. We will get to that next. I have some other titles that I'm going to include in there that you should definitely read as well.
And she'll pop the minor illusion without just looking him dead in the eye and just have like her whisper come from behind him and say, I don't want to read the fucking books, Alozern. I don't have time because I'm actually on the battlefield. And this is trivial to me. And it's just blinking at him while the voice is like coming from behind him. Oh, it's a subtle flex of like, I'm like far beyond what you're doing right now type of vibe.
I have to roll an Arcana check for him real quick. Natural 20. It's almost a psionic manifestation. You're not doing anything whatsoever, but you're not a sorcerer as far as I can tell. That is an interesting point. Well, anyways, you obviously don't grasp the strategic import of this because the two of them, your capabilities and this material, are synergistic, not in opposition.
I think you should have more respect for the people around you and how much they've done for you instead of the books.
I obviously have seen the capabilities that you've displayed in open war, which is very exciting, which means that you are the ideal candidate for amplifying them even further, doing things that other people can't do.
Okay, well, leave some notes on how to amplify all of this. I'm going to go study with the Archmage now, something that books won't teach you.
Roll an insight check, please.
No, I'm lucky dying. I'm curious.
Okay. Almost bemusement. Yeah, the Archmage. But he doesn't say it. Okay.
Like, what does he, wait, like
the Archmage. Like,
how does he express that? Is he like smirking or laughing or
tiny twitch at the corner of his, like, just an unimpressed, barely noticeable smirk. That's good. That's going to be very productive. I'll send you the abbreviated version.
And what does your future look like, Alozern?
Well, immediately upon completion of my 7 years, I'm going to continue my studies at the colleges, at the Towers of Wizardry, and then I'm going to go into advanced studies beyond that, and eventually I am going to be the Archmage. Or maybe...
She gives him...
Go ahead.
She gives him the same look of like, Archmage. but a lot more obvious about it.
I don't want to be the king of Nenri. It's boring.
You want to be the king of a bunch of kids? How's that not boring?
Having to deal with children is a side effect. Dealing with the actual faculty of the Muintiori is the main focus. A collection of the foremost arcane peers in our time. He makes a gesture towards you like he's including you in that. There's no trace of flattery whatsoever. It's just sort of a, obviously, like, I want to be surrounded by the greatest magical minds, and the person who gets the most access to that is the Archmage.
And what do you think you can do better than Archmage Elnao?
Right now, nothing.
At the time.
I don't think there's a limit.
But if you could think of one thing that you could change about the academy that Elnao just hasn't gotten to yet.
Elnao's been very preoccupied with military efforts, which is much more exciting than academic pursuits. I have to grant that. But her narrow specialization in the field of evocation gives her a less holistic viewpoint on magical theory in general. She's an excellent wartime leader. She's perfectly equipped for it. I just don't know what she's going to add in terms of the intellectual and arcane body of work outside of a very specific focal point.
And since she's so narrow, how are you planning to be so diverse?
He holds up the gigantic pile of books that he's reading.
And
Comprehensive.
in what domains?
All of them. Abjuration, conjuration, evocation, divination, magical metamagic theory, transmutation, alchemy, necromancy, enchantment, illusion.
So you don't want to be a master. You don't want to be master Lozerin. You want to be jack of all trades of Lozerin.
Those are all just different words for magic. I want to understand magic at the utmost level. And part of that involves surrounding yourself with experts in specific fields of study. But it takes a specific, well-connected, and flexible, and well-educated mind in order to unite all those individual disciplines and see them as greater than the sum of the parts.
How much weight do you put into people skills when it comes to being an Archmage?
The Archmage's job is to be a master of magic. We can employ administrators and other such individuals for managing those affairs.
You don't think a leader needs skills involving managing people and dealing with them?
Identifying the people who are the best suited for the job and then putting them in the areas of responsibility that most fit their particular skill sets, thereby freeing up other individuals to focus on their expertise.
Maybe you're the one who's thinking a bit too narrowly.
No, I'm not.
Well, if you help me with the book knowledge, I can help you with the people knowledge, which learning from people about people is the best way.
Roll persuasion check for me. A 24. Aside from blowing up cities, that does seem to be your foremost skill. With time, you're going to be an expert on that. Yes. Okay. I'll collate my notes. That seems reasonable. I actually already agreed to do that, but it seems like an even better idea now.
Right. Well, people skill lesson number 1. If you have someone very important that you're talking about or maybe standing in front of, there are some words you gotta say and an attitude that you have to adopt. And holding a bunch of books in front of your face and sort of being arrogant isn't gonna win you over the people powerful enough to manage all the things you need.
I understand. He does not understand.
Can I tell he doesn't understand?
Yes. You can also tell that he thinks he understands.
I think being able to admit that you don't understand something is just as important too.
As soon as
But
that happens, I will.
I don't think you understand a lot.
Yet.
I
That's what
like
the
that
books are for.
attitude.
That's what the books are for.
Yeah. Well, if I ever catch you giggling about our Archmage while you don't sit in the Archmage chair, then I'll tell on you.
2 points. First of all, I don't giggle. Second off, if that would actually be a major consideration, then the Archmage's priorities are, and then at that moment, you hear a blast and a fanfare as the Fuck'em Club theme song plays from Kraius' room.
I should go deal with that. Managing people. How important. Look what will help. Books. As she kind of jogs over to the scene of the crime.
Oh, good. At least someone understands. And then he walks off with the pile of books.
Gets to Kraius' room.
Mm-hmm.
Knocks.
The door is open. There is glitter everywhere. And there is a pile of potatoes on the floor.
Is Kraius in here?
No.
Well, I don't want to pick this up.
A passing fairy swears, just like cursing. Damn it, it was another false positive. I swear he's doing this on purpose.
Looks over. Is the fairy pixie in the room thing?
Mm-hmm. It's a student, by the way. This is not just this is a fairy student.
Are you Kraius' friend?
Do I have? Oh, here we go.
Kraius made a deal and he's not making good on it, and so we're just reminding him to keep his promises.
What deal?
He asked for help with something in the Tower of War, and he was gonna give a book and some memories in exchange, and he just hasn't gotten around to giving them back, even though we totally helped him with all of that.
Book and memories? What book? What memories are you
I
talking
don't even
about?
remember what the book was, but he owes us a book and he owes us a memory.
Memory? Like, how do you give someone a memory?
You just say, hey, you can have this memory, and then you take it out of their brain.
Do I know what the fuck this person is talking about?
Give me an Arcana or Nature check, please. A 15. There's spells that do this, but also fairy pacts. There are fairies who, if you make a deal with a fairy, they trade in things like memories and emotions and sensations and such. And so some fairies, like fairy students, would probably need spells to do it. More powerful fae, even if they don't normally have the power to alter memories, if it's part of a fairy deal, they can do so, including taking a memory, bottling it, transferring it to somebody else, modifying it, so on and so forth.
So he's not here? I was looking for him too.
No, he's been real sneaky. I think he has a spell that makes it seem like it's him, but it's not him, so all the traps that are designed to go off when it is him go off.
I'll try to find him, I guess.
Cool. Hey, if you see him, tell him to pay up, and then he can sleep again.
Sure. You don't know the book, so I don't know what to ask for. But
He knows. It's not my job to keep track of these things. He should know.
okay, I'll go find him.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And the fairy buzzes off.
How would I know any spots that Kraius likes to hang out at?
You saw him in the amphitheater somewhat recently, being miserable during the tour when you were leading Inaros around the school, along with the other Phoenix Knights.
I guess we'll go check there.
Okay. Oh boy. Along the way, no. When you get there, this is the amphitheater that normally is where it's quiet except for major events like the first day of school and the last day of school every single year. But at the moment, it's actually full of noise and lights. You can hear music playing through it, pipes and drums and loud shouts of a party going on.
She kind of like holds her ears and walks around really confused, trying to figure out what the situation is. And
there's a bunch of satyrs who have a bonfire and kegs of ale and barrels of wine and food just piled up in the center. And they are raging. Yeah, wine, beer. It's they're throwing a kegger in the middle of the amphitheater.
Walks up to the like beverages and is just frowning, like trying to like make sure. And then she kind of like goes to sniff like the bottle of something to be like, is this real wine?
Hell yeah, you want some?
Who says that?
One of the well, were you sneaking up? I lost track for a second.
No, I just walk up.
Okay, so you walk up and almost immediately, as you're going to sniff the wine, an entire urn, like a two-sided bottle amphora of urn of wine, is just shoved directly at your face.
Takes it. What are we celebrating?
We blew up the Fraxis! Now there isn't going to be a huge, gigantic battle and no one's going to die. It's time to celebrate.
Yeah, totally. And wait, so these are all like Fae people?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone like I know? I think I talked to Mama Shimada's character. I forgot.
None of the student Fae are in the area that you can see. Although
these are non-student Fae?
These are non-student Fae. There's just a pile of Fae. You do see a couple of violet robes slumped over in the corner with empty urns in their hands.
Why are they saying we blew up the Fraxis then if they're not even from here?
That's a good question. That's an excellent question.
Oh, okay. I was just dots were not connecting there.
Not a DM mistake. That is in fact what they actually said.
Well, you don't even go here. What do you mean we blew up the Fraxis? I blew up the Fraxis.
You blew up the Fraxis?
Yeah.
Hey, guys! She blew up the Fraxis! And they'll immediately, you're surrounded by satyrs who are just going, woo! Full party whoop mode.
It's just like whoops with them.
There are grapes and sticky buns and like various things you are not old enough to drink being thrown like directly at you for your victory.
She's pretty stoked to be celebrated by a bunch of strangers. So she takes a drink or two and is like having fun, but then kind of gets sidetracked. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to find Kraius," and so kind of is like walking around the party or is looking around for him.
All right. I am going to have you roll a saving throw.
Yeah.
No, you have not been drugged.
Oh god.
You're just partying with Fae. Where did they go? Where around there is this? I'm gonna have you roll a wisdom saving throw and a constitution saving throw. A 20 on wisdom and a 5 on constitution. Okay. Go ahead. You still have some lucky dice.
Okay, I'll use it. Yeah, I'll use 1 luck on that con.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, a 13. That went straight to your head. There is... The thing about satyrs is that when they party, it's more than just a normal party. It's like an invocation of the platonic ideal of throwing a rager. There is an energy, a Fae energy that gets carried up around them. And those who hang out with them and celebrate with them tend to get swept up in it and just absolutely go ham and make erratic decisions, we'll say. You have just narrowly avoided that same fate, but you can definitely feel like that wasn't just, yeah, sure, there's ale or wine that you drank, but also just like you're literally high on life right now. And so you're able to choose to leave, and I'm not going to roll on the carousing table to see what you wake up having done without actually knowing what happened, which is what can happen with the satyrs.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah. Actually, one of our community characters said that they were there and that they were passed out. So I'm going to send you the carousing table later for you to roll on to see what happened to Cooper. Enjoy.
Heck
for the
yeah.
For the time being, you don't see Kraius anywhere in the mix.
Have you guys seen Kraius? I have something to tell him.
Which one's
Stop.
Which one's
Stop.
Kraius?
The nerdy one with the haircut.
Oh, he's in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, he is hiding out right now in... You promise not to tell anybody. I promise not to take... Hey, you, like, you're not like a... Not like, right? Are you a fairy? You don't smell like one.
I can be glittery and have wings too.
Okay.
Don't discriminate.
That is a no, I don't discriminate. You don't discriminate.
You're being mean to me. Tell me where Kraius is.
Well, I can if you're here. Hold on. You know what? They reach down and they pull out something that's been wrapped up in eel skin, and they throw it at your feet, and it sort of like flaps and starts partially open. You want to know where the kid is? Open it.
Okay. Opens it.
There is a iron ingot in there.
Why'd you give me a block?
Touch it. Touch it.
Pokes
Touch it. One of them reaches out to like grab your hand. Not like aggro, but just like after you poked it, to grab your hand and see if they can just look at your hand after you poked it. Does this hurt?
Does it hurt?
No.
Ow! Just kidding.
Oh, she's not there. Okay, yeah, we can tell you. He's in the big hall underneath where they do all the smelly experiments and stuff before they flush it down below.
Okay.
But you can't tell any fairies that. They're not
Aren't you a
allowed.
fairy?
Oh, you
Are
look,
you
don't
a
get
real
technical
fairy?
on me, young lady. You can't tell any other fairies. You can't tell me because I already know. So now you can't tell anybody else because we promised.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I go off now into the direction,
All right.
and bring a drink with me.
This is the second time this night that you have gone to the Great Hall, except now it's much later. It's getting closer to midnight. And you're going past, and there are caretakers on the floating stairs between the different lodges of IOTH Academy, and they are going to notice that you have booze, and if they notice it, they are absolutely going to ask you what you're doing out at this time of night, young lady, take it away from you and tell you and escort you back to bed.
Whoa. The Fae people are the ones giving this out. Why am I in trouble? They started it.
Look, that's exactly the kind of attitude that leads to corruption amongst the youth. Now, you give me that.
I know all about corruption.
I'm sure you do, young lady. I can tell. Now, give me
What
that
do you
beverage.
mean? No. You didn't ask nicely.
please give me that beverage that you're not supposed to have, young lady.
If you don't stop, I'll make a miracle happen, and I'll.
Okay, first off, threats are unbecoming of a student. And second off, you've clearly been out too late. You clearly need some sleep. So let's just go ahead and get you back to bed and have a nice cup of water before you trip and fall and careen off the edge of the floating stairs. I mean, look at you.
Kraius was supposed to take me back, and he's not here, so I'm gonna go get my friend.
Oh, no, not like that you aren't.
No, not that. Why don't you go deal with the Fae people giving out drinks? They don't even go here.
I already filed a report with the wardens. It has to do with the
I'll stay right here.
roll a persuasion check. If you succeed, this caretaker... No, that's not a success. They are going to escort you back, barring anything else that you can do.
How close am I to the Great Hall?
You're within eyesight.
Kraius! And she'll use minor illusion to just reach for Kraius!
There's no use crying about this, all right? Let's go. Come on.
She's gonna fight her. The strength. She's
Yeah,
gonna pull away, not actually fight her.
All right. Roll acrobatics.
God damn it.
A 10.
Yes.
7. All right, you've pulled away, but you haven't exactly gotten past this person. They're completely capable of chasing you right now.
I sprint away.
Okay. They're going to follow right behind you. What's your move speed?
30.
Okay. And there are wardens posted up at the front door of the Great Hall who here are going to see the student running towards them and hear the caretaker yelling for you to stop. And unless they're dealt with, they're going to politely, non-violently, possibly physically stop you.
Kraius! Just is running towards him. Kraius!
And the door opens, and a warden emerges. He goes, "Not this again."
Again?
Yes,
You.
look, lads, this is the third time. You're new to this ship. This is the third time this has happened. I'll get her back to her place. Just give me up. I'll take care of this. Don't worry about this. Young lady, come with me right now. And you get a message spell saying, from Kraius saying, "It's me, play along."
Who is this?
It's Kraius, play along. Act like you don't know me.
Oh. And then out loud. Oh. You.
Yes, it's
Takes
me.
his arm. Takes his arm. Oh, knight. Take me away.
Would be entirely inappropriate for a student, but yes, I will take you back to your chambers where you belong. Good night.
That's
good night. Thank you.
inappropriate. And just is walking off with him.
All right. Oh man, I gotta roll a deception check for our boy here, which is he's decent at it. A 21. Okay. He is able to talk his way past that, and then as he does, you hear a loud musical instrument go off, like a trumpeting horn, and the warden that you're with, who's looking very stern and stuff on your arm, like flinches and looks over his shoulder before, yes, oh come on, and then hurries you inside.
You gotta relax, man. You gotta chill.
And relax, they're everywhere. What are you doing here? Wait, no, don't say anything. Wait.
Looking for you, silly. You're muted.
+1 XP. He will very suspiciously, very surreptitiously lead you down into the the lower basement of the Great Hall, into the old alchemy classroom, and then pull open the disposal grate on the floor. use a quick prestidigitation to clean up some of the gunk around there. Just like squeegee, 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 polish, polish, wash, 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 wash. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Are you gonna murder me?
Oh, I'm not.
I didn't think we were going here.
I'm not
I
going to
don't
murder you.
know.
Look, we have to get out of sight.
You couldn't if you tried.
Garnet, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you and your face?
It's a disguise self spell. I thought I made that abundantly clear. I've done this
No,
trick
your
like...
real face.
Oh, okay. All right. Fine. Just get in the... Just come on.
They're giving this fun stuff out. I don't know why you didn't go to... If you partied with them, I think you'd get along.
Are you
They're
going...
in your room, by the way.
Yes, I know they're in my room. That's why I'm not here. That's why I'm here. No, I am here and I'm not there.
You want me to go in there?
Yes, look, I have a hideout, okay? It's not all like this. I've cleaned up.
Oh, you gotta dare me to do it. I won't do it.
Garnet, please.
Garnet, I dare you
fine.
to jump in the drain.
Jumps in the train.
Wait, no, Garnet, slow down. He hops in and like he's wearing all this armor in his disguise, but it's all part of the illusion. So he just sort of like slides in and the armor just clips through the walls. You're sliding ahead of him for a moment as he like comes down behind you and then sort of grabs you to stop you from continuing to just slide all the way down into the undercroft, pulls to the side, pushes on something, a piece of the drain goes to the side, and he crawls through a hole, gesturing for you to follow.
Okay. What the fuck?
On the inside of this chamber, there's a bedroll set up. There are several magical lights. There are a bunch of scrolls and notes and books. There are some snacks. There's a lot of writing on the walls. He closes the panel door on the side. Okay, Garnet, what are you doing here? What's going on?
I heard you owe someone a book. Is that code for something?
No,
Just give him the fucking book. Who cares?
it's about more than that now. Here I was. Is that what this is about? Did they send you?
I just went to your room and there's glitter everywhere. It's so cool. And then they said something about you gotta give them a book and a memory. And then they let you sleep. You know how important sleep is, silly.
I'm sleeping here. I'm sleeping fine. I'm completely fine.
Why don't you just give them the stuff?
This
I can go and do it for you. I can do the trade.
Because they can't be trusted. They cannot be trusted to do what is best to uphold IOTH's legacy. They are unproductive and a detriment to the defense and upholding of this school. And so if I am to... I'm not going to play that.
Well, you can't be productive until they can be unproductive.
Getting plenty
so
done.
Now you're both unproductive.
It's the principle of the thing.
She kind of starts walking over to the books. Just tell me which book is it. I'll give it to him.
It doesn't
Starts
actually
picking
matter.
up a book.
It could literally be any book, but it's only going to count if I give it to them.
Why can I not give it?
You can give it just fine. It's just not going to clear my debt.
Why do you have to give it?
Because I asked them for help. There was a whole thing in the Tower of War, and they're built...
What'd you do in the war tower?
Well, thanks to some outside assistance, nothing. I was conducting...
Lying.
No, I'm not lying. I was conducting research, okay? I was conducting research on Naomi's mirror.
Oh, we don't have to worry about that.
Garnet, do you remember the... I feel like... Why don't... I feel like somebody threatened me. Like, my life. Because it was my fault that happened in the first place, and I have to make it right. I do kind of think I have to worry about that, Garnet.
Well, there's no mirrors in the academy. There's no Naomi. So there's nothing to really fix. I think we should... What?
What do you mean? What do you mean there's no Naomi?
Well, she's not with us anymore.
He's making an insight check with disadvantage because of one level of exhaustion. He got an 11.
I don't want to get into the sad stuff. I've been having an amazing night. I'm just telling you, you're wasting your time and valuable codex time by hiding and making the janitor's job so difficult with your room.
Hey, I'm cleaning the... Oh, I'm not the one who put the... Look, besides, I have more important things to deal with, okay? I've had more important things to deal with the entire time. That's what all this is about. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's not important. Don't worry about it.
So are you going to go give the book?
Look, why do you care about that? You have more important things.
Because I need you to do codex things while I'm gone. And you're running from fairies. That's embarrassing, Kraius.
I am doing codex things right now.
Like what?
He gestures at the writing on the wall, which is arcane formula and spell matrices. You don't have to be sober to recognize that there's a little bit of the hand of frenzied chaos to it. It does not look like a sound mind has been scribbling on these walls.
Is this like, can I tell if this is mirror shit or is this...
Roll an Arcana check.
Symbols. No, I'll save my inspo for a more dire moment.
Okay, do you want to narrate how this went horribly wrong or no?
I'll be like, what the fuck? Are you writing on the walls? What are you, a fucking toddler? How are you gonna preserve this for generations to come? You want me to peel the fucking wallpaper down?
His shoulders slump. Thank you for coming, Garnet. Was there anything else?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to help fix all of this stuff because the fairy people were very nice to me.
Okay, that's great. Hey, I seem to recall somebody giving me away when I was in disguise in the cafeteria the other day. Do you remember anything about that?
You were mean to me. So I was mean back.
And now you want to fix things? It does not matter, Garnet. The enemy is at the gate. They're all around us. They're always coming for us. I don't have time for a student club and their vendettas.
Well, Codex is a student club.
Codex is not a student club. Codex is the heirs of IOTH's legacy, and that is what binds us together. Not having meetings, not having bylaws, none of that. It is preserving what is left of the last light of Luminius so that it doesn't fade from this world.
And
everything else is secondary.
Is this your legacy, all this scribble?
Is there anything else that you needed, Garnet? I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the work I told you to do that I'm telling you you don't need to do.
I can't believe it's pointless. I incurred this entire debt, and you're telling me it didn't even matter.
It's worth a lot. It's called redirection.
Roll an insight check, please, with disadvantage. A natural 1. Okay. What direction do you want to completely misread this, or do you have an idea for this already?
What face is he making when I say redirection? I'm just look. I don't want to get all. I've said a lot of deep negative things tonight, and I am having a great night, and I don't want to rain on your scribble parade. But Naomi ain't coming back, so I need you to like. The mirror stuff is great because that's still a problem. But don't do anything for a woman. Do it for you.
Oh, okay.
And go back to being the nice Kraius that cared about me. Because you piss me off when you're ignorant.
Is that what I am? Ignorant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I almost died and killed everybody, including the Archmage. And I've been going through a lot. And you were so worried about your little fairy glitter to like notice. That's ignorant. Ignorant.
I'm sorry you almost died, and I'm glad you're not dead. Okay?
Okay. That's better.
But yeah, you know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll patch everything up with the fairies, and then I can focus again. All right? Is that better? Does that make your day better? Can I go back to what I was doing?
Well, you should go give the book. What memory are you supposed to give them?
Maybe this one. I don't know. But
don't be a rat.
I don't think they care which one.
What did you learn at the tower? Why do you have to go to a war tower?
Absolutely nothing
Mirror
that
shit.
ended up being important at all.
Okay. Well, don't do that. And come to me if you want weird favors, because, like, I know the Archmage. And that doesn't require, like, a fairy deal or whatever you're signing your life to.
Okay, that would help.
Okay, what do you need?
I need to know how to hide the entire academy.
Have you seen how big this is? Are you trying to make everyone else blind?
No.
Hmm. I was shrouded once. Maybe you could make like a big shroud.
That's what I've been.
But I was visible.
Right, and that's not going to be good enough. So I've been researching mirror magic because some of the same principles that apply to the plane of mirrors also apply to reflections and negating them. And it would theoretically be possible with the right anchors and the right magical practices and the formulas that I've been working on, plus some of the mirror magic that I've incorporated from what was stolen from the Tower of War that I've been working on in order to hide the entire school and maybe go back to studying magic like we're supposed to. And maybe we can protect IOTH's legacy, even though he's gone and the dome is fractured and everything's falling apart. Maybe we could keep it all safe.
You know what would be like way better than that though?
What?
Wait, you would
Garnet?
tell me if you're a mirror clone, right?
No, I wouldn't, because I would not be allowed to, because I wouldn't want to, because I'd be my mission to stop you.
Sniffs him to see if he smells like a mirror.
He does not smell like a mirror.
Well, what's left of IOTH's legacy is like his lover, Mrs. Sage, and we think she's like stuck in the firmament or something. So if you could look up how to untangle someone from the firmament, that would be cool, because that would actually be helping the legacy of the guy.
The first Archmage is more than any one person, no matter what. But yeah, I could probably help with that.
Plus, the more you mess with mirrors, the more that you could get sucked into one, or if you already have.
No, I've not actually been looking at any. There's like none here, and we're keeping it that way. That's fine.
Yeah, she's all tangled up in some firmament. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're up to. So if you want to like be helpful, you can do that. But you should go give that book and that memory.
Okay, but just because I do that doesn't mean that I condone what they're doing or think that they have the Academy's best interests at heart.
That's fine. But I need you to stop hiding, because that's embarrassing. And I'm gonna have to talk about demoting you if you can't be like a strong leader presence for the Codex and you're hiding from the other clubs.
Sure. Okay.
You know, I'd never demote you.
Right.
Okay. Well, you know where my room is, so if you need anything, don't talk to a fairy. Talk to me. Okay?
Are you okay to go home?
I'm not going home. I'm going to study.
Are you okay to go study?
Yeah, I love reading so much. But if you can help me out of here, I don't know where I am.
Yeah. No, he'll cast the disguise self again to make himself look like a warden, open the secret door on the side, and escort you out. He doesn't start any conversations unless you do. And when you get out of the Great Hall, he does sort of do, so where were you going?
To the study room. And just tells him the general location of where it is.
All right.
Or like the area, not like turn left, turn right. This is where it is.
Oh.
What?
Hold on. He goes through his, after realizing that he has to go back to Tarsalmore, he checks his bags for a moment. Pulls out a book. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Okay. And he will escort you all the way back up to Tarsalmore. Up the floating staircases. It's getting close to midnight.
And she's skipping along him, like beside him, so it's like the most awkward looking duo of
He's just like
night
trudging
warden.
along, looking like a fake warden, just not having a good time, and she's You get to the other wardens, and he's just like, move, she's with me. They go,
yeah.
all right. Died and made you chattiest, whatever. And that's to him, not to you. And are you going to have him escort you all the way down to the basement?
She probably remembers probably where to go. So probably just the entrance.
All right. So he'll drop you off there, and then still disguised, clutching the book with a just absolutely sulking face, he is going to reluctantly trudge off to go pay his debt and leave you to the basement.
She carefully makes her way down and then continues skipping towards the room.
All right. When you arrive, it's completely pitch dark down here in the crypts of Tarselmore House. There is a slab, that sort of slab that used to hold a sarcophagus. It's now the study desk is there. It's pretty much the way that you left it. And it's going to be about an hour before Elnao is scheduled to be here.
She'll get bored. And how far is it to go back to the Great Hall?
Pretty far. Like a 15, 20-minute walk, at least. Probably more.
How far is it to Elnao's office?
To Elnao's office? A little bit quicker because you can take a flying carpet.
Drinking and carpeting would not be good. She'll probably just read and then take a nap until she gets there.
All right. You roll a Constitution saving throw for me. Congratulations, you have an instant hangover.
Oh, fuck. What does that mean? Is that exhaustion?
It counts as the poisoned condition.
Which is disadvantage on everything?
On all checks, ability checks and attack rolls, but not on saving throws.
Oh.
You feel a gentle nudge waking you up. Your head hurts a lot.
Oh, what? What?
Garnet.
Oh, what?
Elnao looming over you with her wings sort of folded just beside her, the staff of IOTH in her hand. The runes upon it barely give off any light, but you have the ill fortune of being a shadowcaster whose eyes can pierce all darkness, and in your current state, it is painful to behold.
Oh, put that light shit away, bro. What the hell?
Garnet, what's wrong? What happened?
What's wrong with you? God, you're
Hold on. I gotta see.
Maybe smell. I was gonna say maybe she'd smell it, but
yeah, no, she would. I'll go ahead and give her that. She pulls out 2 small vials from her robes and offers one of them to you. Drink this, it'll help.
What are we celebrating? Just uncorks it and chugs it back.
Okay. You are cured of 1 point of void corruption.
Oh shit! Let's go. Oh, that didn't help my head.
And it cures your headache. It's a potion of greater restoration. It does everything.
That's...
So it does, in fact, cure the headache as well. And remove the poison condition.
Oh, that's way better. Oh, you got the good shit. What is this?
Now that you're a little bit less groggy, you look in the vial that she's still holding, and you recognize that faintly golden concoction as exactly what you dosed her with a little while ago.
Oh, where'd you find that?
I called in a favor.
From who?
Onderud.
You could have asked for the sage back.
There's a diplomatic technique where if you want somebody to help you, you ask them for something small first, then for something larger later.
Okay,
Besides
what'd you give back? Was it just favor, no trade?
No, I paid them for it.
School funds?
Mm-hmm.
I got
Not
you. I'll spot you. I'll spot you.
Garnet, we're not exactly short on funds. It's mostly just a matter of these things are not easy to concoct, and the people who can create them aren't everywhere, and it takes a lot of time, so availability is limited.
What'd you say this is for?
I didn't.
They usually ask.
Onderud? That's the beauty about Onderud. They don't.
Okay.
She sits down on the stone, like up just on a step next to you, with the other potion in her hands.
I would have liked if you had this instead.
She taps it against the rock, like the one that she's still holding. She sort of taps it against the rock. Can we talk?
I don't like the sound of that. What's up?
You've been upset with me ever since I reached into the book of Seosh and pulled out the knowledge of how to make a mask for my own without asking you first.
Yeah.
I tried to explain why I did that. Do you feel like you understand my decision making? I didn't say agree with it. Understand it.
I can see how you thought that was an option.
Okay. We both know that the magic we practice, void magic, is dangerous. And we both know, more than anybody else, what it can take away from you. And you seem determined to stop me from paying that price. And
Yeah.
I feel the same way about you. I don't want to see it hollow you out from the inside. So
Well, one of us is disposable. So I don't know why that
you
is not
are
clear.
wrong. You are not disposable. You are not. And I am never going to agree with you about that. You are not going to talk me into that. You are not going to persuade me of that. You are not going to demonstrate that to me. You are not disposable.
I don't want to be disposed of, but someone has to get shit done. Not saying you're not. I'm just saying I know what it takes to do so.
And how far are you going to go? Do you draw a limit anywhere?
Well, if you hand me that potion, I'd probably drum up another ritual to help the sage.
That's not what I asked. How far are you going to go? Do you draw a line anywhere on this? On destroying yourself?
Depends what it comes down to.
Okay.
I'm not trying to worry you. I'm trying to protect us.
Right. That's really been the problem this entire time. You are trying to protect me, and I'm trying to protect you. And the last thing that this school needs, or that we need, is to be opposing each other on who's protecting who and who's standing out in front of all this danger and fighting over who's going to pay the price when the time comes. I don't want to do that.
I find it to be a nice balance, but if you have a better solution.
instead of jumping in front of you to try to be the first one to dive into the abyss, why don't we hold on to each other so that neither of us falls? Why don't, instead of fighting over protecting the other, why don't we just protect each other? I don't want to lose you. You matter to me. I care about you. I want to see
it clouds your judgment about the academy. You're busy worrying about me.
You're right.
So maybe we should stop this so you can focus on the academy.
No, because if you do that, because I'm still not willing to risk that. But I think you're being... No. I don't think this is an either or situation. Let's work together to protect each other, and each of us keep the other from going too far, because that way we'll be safer and we'll be able to go further. If you're looking out for me and I'm looking out for you, it's going to be that much harder for this magic to hollow us out and empty us. But if one of us just decides to jump out ahead and take the plunge and turn into somebody unrecognizable, then there's no going back from that. And at that point, you won't even be yourself anymore. I wouldn't even be myself anymore. And everything that we fought for would be at risk.
Yeah, you act like I like the person that I was, and that maybe I do mind all this corruption. It's been kind of nice. The quiet, the power, the solitude sometimes. And forgetting awful people. I'm just hoping that the dice roll is just more awful people. If it's going to take away memories that impede me, then...
No, but you need those memories, Garnet. They're important. Even the painful ones, especially the ones that hurt. Especially the ones of our own mistakes. Every single one of them matters. Because they prevent us from becoming monsters. If it's easy to forget where we've gone wrong, it gets easier for us to go wrong. If it hurts less, then it matters less. And the lengths we're willing to go to get worse and worse.
Well, when I hurt, people get hurt. When I get mad, when I get sad, bad things happen to people who don't deserve it. So...
just now. Not forever. Work with me. Study with me. Together we will master this. You will gain self-governance without cutting yourself apart and making room for other things that you don't want to have a say in who you are. Because if you make that room, they will crawl in there. You can learn.
I don't have time.
You have to have time. Because the alternative is worse, Garnet. A Garnet who stops caring, who keeps on becoming more and more empty, is more dangerous than a Garnet who hurts people because she does care. I saw what you did. I saw the power that you wielded. We were both there when Diffraxis was destroyed. Someone who wields that kind of destructive power and does not feel the consequences is a danger to everything. Somebody who wields that knowing exactly what it is that they are capable of doing, somebody who makes that decision even though it is going to hurt them in their heart and isn't afraid to feel that pain, That is somebody who can be trusted with the fate of the academy, with the powers of the void.
That's
you are
why I
running-
wanted you to stay away from this and me, so that you can be free of all this and be trusted and make the right decisions. Because ever since you met me, it's been horrible, all the things that have happened. And I still do feel the consequences of what has happened, because whatever is left is hanging on, and now it's just further away from understanding the feelings and not knowing who to even tell those feelings to, because no one else understands. So, and you just pushing me away just made it worse. You weren't jumping in front of the bullet, you were just adding more to it.
You're right, and I'm sorry.
What do you have to teach me that the mask isn't already giving me?
How to do this and still care.
You're not even going to get mad at me for drinking?
Would it be better if I did?
Well, yeah, you'd be actually doing your job.
This is still my job. If you don't want to think of yourself as a distraction, think of yourself as one of the most powerful mages to ever set foot in this academy. If tending to that power is not part of the Archmage's duties, then what is?
So what do you want me to do? So if there's an impossible task where someone's life is on the line, you want me to not do anything?
No. No.
Well, what if the only price to save that person is to just, I don't know what this is, let go a little bit?
I'm not saying not to make those choices. I'm saying that I trust you and I want you to trust me to hold each other back when that isn't the only choice. Because these masks and the power that taught us how to make them wants us to believe that's the only choice. And however safe it feels to use it right now, this was not given to us just because we're smart or powerful. This was given to us because Seush believes that we'll come around to his way of seeing things. This is a direct connection to that emptiness. And if we are going to use this power, I want us to be looking out for each other as the only people who understand this and understand the risks, not overstepping each other like I did, or making decisions for the other, or being in a rush to pay a price without asking the other person on their behalf. I'm not saying to abandon any of this. I'm not saying to stop your studies. I'm saying that I want us to trust each other, and I want us to look out for each other, because we are in very dangerous territory. And it's better for us to be someone we can fall back on rather than someone that we're going to die for immediately.
Sure, next time Android's about to blow up, I'll make you sign the waiver. What chapter do you want to start on? I feel like I already know all this stuff.
Okay, then start with something I don't know. Who gave you that drink?
You're the Archmage and you don't know there's just a giant rave in the place with alcohol?
You haven't been to the Towers of Wizardry yet, right? Except maybe to visit once or twice. This happens more often than you would think.
Well, I'd be drunk more often if you gave my Horn of Faderade back.
I'm willing to discuss that, but not during class, not during learning hours. Knowing is one thing, execution is another. Let's practice technique. The more solid you are on technique, the more you can push your limits safely.
I destroyed the orb. The sphere, I mean. Now we only have one.
Well, we didn't used to have any. I'm sure that we'll manage.
Well, teach me how to make a sphere.
I can't because I don't know how to do that.
Well, I don't know, help me do it then. And she just like tries to focus and like put out her hands and mimic anything she's done.
Okay, hold on. Well, all right, let's start with the theory. And she is going to pull out everything that she knows from her own experiments with the sphere of annihilation that still exists, any research that's been done about it before, the math side of things, the magical theory side of things, working up to exactly what it is and why it exists the way it does. But she understands that you have the internal connection and the power, but she wants to pair that with the actual full-fledged knowledge of it. So unless, barring any objections, she's just going to go into like hardcore details about the way these spheres interact with the world and what's little is known of their origins.
And I guess like when she flips open the book, she'll probably stop her for a sec and she kind of looks down and is just thinking about how Alex has been in the void this whole time. It's like every now and then the like thought pops up of like, damn, it's probably been like such a long time. It probably can somehow, or maybe with an intelligence check or something, can tell like how much time it's been or something. And just like looks up at Elnao and says like, do you think I should go check if he's still there?
Why?
I don't know, what if they're planning something or doing something, or maybe he's dead and I don't know.
They are, I'm sure if we can assume they're planning something. I don't know what looking is going to tell you. Either he's there, in which case something's being planned, or he's gone. If you do know that he's still in there, does that change anything?
I'd want to see.
Why?
Because I put him there.
Don't know if you did.
Like, I don't know. Maybe Seosh did, but I want to know why he got saved. Not nobody else.
Okay.
Why is he the special void chosen one? I'm stronger than Alex is.
Are you feeling jealous?
Why would I be jealous of someone who's not even that strong? Seosh said that he gave me a mission to do something for him, and now he's pulling Alex in there, not letting me kill him when I won. Why does he get a second chance?
Seosh doesn't care about that. That doesn't matter at all to him. That's not how Seosh thinks. We're dealing with an intelligence that has been alone longer than Alex has if he's alive. Longer than I think either of us can really think about. Who's deserving, who's strongest, those are all abstracts. Seosh doesn't pick favorites. Seosh doesn't have favorites. And even if he did, would you really want to be his? We've both seen what he wants. It's not what we want. Right?
Right.
Pity him, maybe. Learn what happened so we know, maybe. Don't think that you've been passed up. I don't think if he's alive, there's nobody else I would want to be less than him right now.
Okay.
And she sighs, kind of a woof, and uncorks the potion of greater restoration and knocks the whole thing back.
And then she'll be like, so I went on a date today. Oh my God, he made dinner and it was like this whole thing. And then I took him to the gala and did the dance because Athalor ruined my gala and kissed Ariana. So I made myself have a better gala. Then I went and got drunk. That made the whole night better. And then I went and saw Kraius, who's dealing with stupid fairies, and now I'm here. And like the whole day's so crazy. It's just like blabbing, like just-
Roll an insight check for me, please. 17. Okay. She is slightly incredulous at the topic change, but in no hurry to dissuade you, and she is listening. And if anything, she's asking critical questions, like, did he cook all that himself?
I don't know. I didn't ask him if he had help. But it was
Okay.
cooked beautifully, and he even brought flowers. Oh, I love flowers so much. And then she takes like a sour tone and just Ariana liked flowers too.
If we make things relatively safe, if we bought some time from Diffraxis, do you want to go see her?
I can't ever see her again.
Oh, you told Elnao about Naomi, right? Yes, no? You can make that decision. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't
I saw
really...
the grave with she put flowers. Harold keeps showing me her grave and her. Tired of it.
I don't think there's anything that can be done to take that back. But
Thanks.
that's not my kind of magic anyways. If he's so determined to rub your face in this, then you and I are just going to have to do a whole lot of other things that make him angry.
Like more spheres.
Okay, maybe. So here's one type of option. Now, unless there's anything you left out about this young man, we can go back to theory. And she'll go ahead.
And then she like goes to interrupt her and like, well, he like didn't ask me out, and like I keep asking him to ask me something, and he just is always so about the details and the matrix and then she just starts whining about the date again.
But wait, didn't you start by talking about the magic things? Isn't that what?
But I was just talking, and he's just doesn't know anything about me, and he's so pretty.
Oh, and we're gonna leave poor Master Elnao trying her best to remember what it was like to be a teenager. And we'll go ahead and call it from here. You want to do a short detention after this?
Sure.
All right, cool. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you all of the raiders who popped in from Sideshow's channel. And if you stick around for the post show, we will be right back.